Hello and welcome to Roguelike Thursdays. Let's see what we have today. It is... Oh, it's just talking about the 7-day roguelike challenge. Okay. Okay. Just a review. Keep going. Mines of Morgoth is a clone of Moria. What's the difference? Different dungeon routines, enhanced AI that varies in smartness according to type of monster. That's kind of cool. Synth sound effects. Interesting. When was this made? 2002. Okay. This dungeon synth is like a whole new genre, and I don't think that emerged until like probably like 2018 to 2020, somewhere in there. But they were doing it back in the day. That's kind of interesting. Saving the game is only allowed in the village, so there's not permadeath yet. It still punishes you. Okay, so it's a roguelite. Only a human wizard is allowed at character creation. The game is known to crash back to desktop after character creation when the DirectX screen is set up on some machines. No explanation has ever been found. Well, I'll see if I can get it going, I guess. I'm not sure if it'll be different enough from Moria to warrant a proper play, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so it appears to be a full-blown game that you install, so that's a bit dodgier than I'd like, maybe. I don't know if it matters that much, but here we go. You got mouse control here, so let's go with just a standard Lord Cameron, I think, and I will take 18. Oh, you have to roll. Okay. Oh, that is weird. I don't like that. Oh, if you're wearing headphones, you might understand. It only goes into the left ear. Oh, that felt very strange. Okay, I like high strength, so I'm going to roll until I get let's say 16 or so if I can. No, you're a wizard, right? You're always a wizard. So maybe I want... Yeah, we'll go for the intelligence then. Sure. High constitution, high intelligence. That seems like a good build for a wizard. I accept. Ooh, is that the synth? Don't know if I like it. You've learned all the spells that you can. Okay, so what are the controls? The controls are not V keys then. Oh, what the... Huh. Well, that's kind of cool. You can just hold down the direction and you... Okay, we're gonna have to see if there's diagonals. So I'm gonna go get the old pad out. I'll be right back, the numpad. You'd think I'd just start every recording with the numpad ready to go, but I'm always just hoping for V keys. So, yeah. There is diagonal movement. All right. Now we know. So shall we enter the Mines of Morgoth, I guess this is? Okay, what is the descent key? See, normally you just press the period key or you press go straight down. That doesn't appear to do anything. Oh, we have a spell book. Is there a go downstairs spell? No. So I opened that by pressing M for magic, I suppose. B is by. Okay, so what's go downstairs? Down? Oh. Let's go upstairs. Up? Okay, fair enough. It's fairly straightforward, actually. I like the art. Oh. I don't like that sound. Okay. This is pretty cool so far. I was expecting more Moria-y, but the map is also large. It's not on a single screen thing, but I guess it needs to be for its tile set. Okay. What is that? It misses you. Oh, jeez. Okay, I was about to cast spells, but I was hoping to look, so I tried to press L to look, but that obviously isn't... Oh, that's learn. Ignore the beeping. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so Lord Cameron was a failure, and that's because he's a wizard, so we will... Mage Cameron. Here we go. This looks solid. Take the first roll. Let's head on down. D for down. Okay, next time we see a foe, obviously we are... Okay. Okay, X is exchange. So V is view? No. How do I look at something? Do I have a mouse that I can click on stuff? No. Well, let's take this thing out. Just a simple magic missile ought to do. Ooh. Okay, and then pow? No. Pow. Pow. Ah. Space. Okay, so magic. Space. That direction. Magic. Space. That direction. And I think I'm out of mana now. Magic space. You faint from the effort. Okay. You're no longer paralyzed. Oh, is that just a rock? Oh, we've got a little kobold fella. Okay. Take him down. It seems to be very leggy, this magic. Okay. Magic. Grab it. Take him down. Okay. I'm not going to give up just yet, but I'm... the delay between clicking and actually receiving a response does not feel good. Okay, let's see. Who would be best? Gandalf. Gandalf, of course. Should be the one to descend. Maybe I need like something for survivability, like good all-around stats or high dexterity or something. I wonder if they were planning to have like a bunch of... This looks pretty solid. This looks pretty solid. I could see high strength being useful because you can't always win. Maybe I should like buy some. Press F1 for help. Ah. Okay. Peer at gem. You got to have a whole key dedicated to that for sure. Okay, so tell me about my inventory. I just have a book of beginner's magic and a little dagger. All right. So let's stroll on over to the shop. Do 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 do. So slow. Hello there, good sir. Oh, hello. I would like to B for buy. Aha. Okay. How much money do I have? Inventory. I have no money. I have no money, I think. Well, let's see what happens if I try to buy something. 1 bread, please. Bread. Okay. Oh, is that 19 how much gold I have? Let's buy some meat. So it should go down to 15 now. Yeah, okay. A lot of gnomish shovels available. Okay, so I've got a little bit of money. The guy really went all out on presentation. And it's cool that there's so many items. Like already I'm like, oh, what do all these items do? But I don't know if I have the patience to figure that out. We'll see if I can get over the hurdle. Maybe something will entrance me here. Like, yeah, Feather Falling, Necromancer's Tome, Slow Monster, like very cool looking objects here. I don't have enough money for any of this stuff. But it's very intriguing. Also, not sure. I think the camera change zone would be stronger if it did a bit more like Legend of Zelda, where you can walk all the way to the edge of the screen, because it's just a little bit too often here. Like, I walked maybe, what's that, a third of the screen left, and then I just kind of jarringly hop over. So, don't think I'm a fan of that. Okay, there's a little mouse there, and then some sort of horrifying beholder. What is look at objects? Doesn't appear to be an option. Let's see. Philip Wardle did sounds, graphics, and code all by himself. This is a demo with only the first 3 levels. Because I thought that it said the first 20 levels were free before. I did download something called demo, but I don't know why the non-demo doesn't exist on the archive. Maybe it was lost. Okay, so can I, with my tome, oh, what is that? There is some weird random, I think I'm not supposed to be able to select, no, now I can select them just fine. There's some weird behaviors with the controls here. I do think something is buggy. So can I cast Phase Door? You have not learned that spell yet. So I only know Magic Missile. It doesn't say what I hit, it just says it dies in a fit of agony, which is a bit of a shame. I do like directional spellcasting, as I've said before, because it means there's less faffing about when you're actually doing stuff. So that's a plus for me. I've gotten sick from the scent. Oh, it's dead. Okay, are you friendly? It does, yeah. Okay. Maybe I should just run away. Ooh. Oh, there's more of them. And not those kobolds again. Okay. Look at that. Completely bamboozled it. Get me out of here. Okay. So I didn't have any money, so I don't know if I heal over time. Oh, are these guys friendly? Yeah, look at, it's like lagging now. Oh. That's a mangy looking leper. With a bodkin dagger. Oh. I feel like I just murdered a leper for no reason. Okay, that leg is like, I don't know if you can tell watching, but if I press a button, sometimes nothing happens. And sometimes something happens. And sometimes it's really delayed. And it's actually very unpleasant to control. Even though like the art is amazing and I'm very curious about the weapons, the performance is bad enough that I don't think I want to keep going here. So we'll look at another one. We'll do a little double feature here. Because this one, very pretty, but it's really not working for me. So let's go back to the website, 1 second. Tet RL, roguelike inspired by Tetris. Well, we already did Doomazid, so what's this one? Game playthrough video by YouTube user RL Glove can be found at YouTube. But that's pretty cool, devoted to traditional roguelikes. I like to see that there's more of those. There's not many options for people interested in that, so that's pretty cool. Okay, back to Tetris. I have very low expectations for this game. When I play a roguelike, I want to go on an adventure with a little dude with a sword and shield, basically, you know? And that is not what Doomazid is, so. All right, so there are rats I have to hit with a wrench. I have to move the crates into place. I can rotate them with R. Every time I ask him to drop another crate, he will also give me a med pack. So this actually just seems like Tetris. Like a more complex, in-depth version of Tetris. Okay, so where do you want the crates? You just want them at the back of the room, I guess? So we just... And he says once the crate is in place, it can no longer be moved. So I guess we'll assume that crate is now in place. Oh, placed 0 out of 5. What am I missing? The door is locked. Okay. I don't quite get where I'm supposed to place it, but just hand me another... You said I could press D to drop another... Okay, there's another crate. Oh yeah, now it says placed 1 of 5. Okay. So I would like you to rotate the crate. Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, they are tetrominoes. Just stretched weirdly for some reason. Let's see. How can I adjust this so that... Oh, no, that does not make more sense. I was hoping like a square would... Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so lesson learned, don't do that. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I think I realized something as well. I just have to fit 5 crates in this room. So I can just say like, give me another crate. Pow. Can I move diagonally? I can. Okay. So we're going over to the blue keys. You can tell if I'm using like... Oh, you can use V keys. Okay. So if I'm using the V keys, you can tell I'm doing this. And if I'm using the numpad, you can hear it there much louder. Okay, so there we go. And then just give me another one. I don't care. Yeah. And give me another one. I can just fill this room. This doesn't stop me. Can I crush the rat? No. Okay. I can fit one more, surely. Give me another one. Come on. Oh, can I not be in that room? Rablat bites you. Okay. This took a little bit of damage. Okay, this doesn't count, and I can no longer push that block. Can I still push this block? I can. So why am I not allowed? I'll just wait for the lab rat to move. Okay, it's not moving. Alright, you want to fight? There you go. So what happens if I push a block like diagonally? You don't have enough leverage. Okay. But you're still allowed to move diagonally for some reason. Okay. And pow. Done. Let me out. I completed the task. There we go. Done. Okay, next. And then you just have to stack them more and more efficiently. So it is just Tetris. Okay, well, that's enough for me then, because I'm not here to play Tetris. This isn't a roguelike. I mean, it has a lot of aspects with a roguelike. Okay, maybe it is a roguelike, but this is not a roguelike I want to play. How about that? I think it can count as a roguelike, probably. Although I would say having ASCII art, randomness, permadeath, fighting things, walking around, turn-based, to me that is more of a palette or a medium, but a roguelike is a game that is like Rogue, and this isn't like Rogue. Like, I'm not drinking potions, I'm not gathering gold, I'm not fighting a wide variety of creatures, I'm not delving in the dark. Like, Rogue is basically D&D. This isn't D&D, so I don't think... My definition of a roguelike is a game like Rogue. This might fit like the Berlin definition or something, but I think the proper definition should be a game that is like Rogue. In other words, Spelunky is a roguelike, this isn't a roguelike. I'm going to play something else. Okay, so I said it. I said Spelunky is a roguelike and that game isn't, so I'm going to show you Spelunky so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is Spelunky. I've never beaten Spelunky. I've gotten to the final boss a number of times. This is a bit of a newer save, so it'll look like I have done less than I have. But that's okay, because I can use this as an excuse to unlock some stuff as well, potentially. So the reason I say Spelunky is a roguelike, and I think Spelunky is kind of the problem, like Spelunky created the problems we have with the definitions of the term roguelike and roguelite and all that. Because what happened with Spelunky was a lot of people said it was a roguelike because it was very much like Rogue in the fact that you get random items, there's a huge variety of monsters, it's all about knowledge. And, but it is turn-based, it's a real-time game. That was a bit of a misinput. But, and it's like totally knowledge-based. Like you learn, oh, if you stand in front of that thing that shoots the arrow, it hits you. Okay, so don't do that. I do that for demo purposes only. Then you learn, oh, there's fall damage. Okay, oh, and spiders can drop from the ceiling and kill you. Okay, so don't do that. So you die very quickly the first time you play, like in Rogue, and then you get a totally new level. So you actually have to learn how to play the game rather than just memorize a level layout. So it's very much a game like Rogue. And so people are like, okay, so a game like Spelunky is a game like Rogue, like a game with permadeath is like Rogue. But Spelunky shares so much more DNA with Rogue than just that. You're also gathering gold like you are in Rogue. You're getting new items. You're like, it's actually a very similar play. You call it like a gameplay loop. I'm not a huge fan of the term, but it's very similar in many respects to Rogue, not just the most obvious. So it's much harder to narrate and play, but the basic idea is that you're supposed to get to the end of the game, like Mario, and the exit to each level is just at the bottom of the level. So you just wander along the course, and you can gather gold along the way. I don't know if that lends to a high score or anything, but you can buy stuff from shops, so gold is very useful for that. And there's many, many secrets to discover, much like Rogue. And every AI has like its own behavior, kind of like Rogue, and you have to learn how to deal with them. And you have to learn, like, there's tons of variety. Like a pot right there might contain gold, it might contain nothing, or it might contain an enemy. And so you can throw the pot at something to try to kill it, but maybe that'll spawn a new enemy. Maybe that'll get you some gold. Maybe you want to avoid pots, maybe you want to use them for something. Maybe you want to have a pot on the edge. You can drop them to set off traps. Like every item in the game has, like, not infinite obviously, but many, many combinations, many, many uses. And I think that is really what makes Spelunky like Rogue, because there's like tons of combinations the developer never foresaw. Spelunky is very much a Rube Goldberg machine. Like you saw before how I got hit by the arrow, went flying, spider landed on me, died. Like that is the game in a nutshell, is just stuff going crazy. So it's always good to have something on hand to help you with, like always nice to have a rock, for instance, because how am I going to get to that exit if I don't have a rock? Or I can throw it at this bat. You can always use something in different ways. So for instance, how do I get through here? Well, I can crawl right to the edge and then drop a rock down. And then I can even take that arrow if I want. So now the arrow is a tool, and that thing becomes a tool. Now there's a couple aspects I haven't shown you in this game because... So how do I get up to that crate up there? Crates contain tons of items. Well, you also get rope in this game. So you have rope and you have bombs. Now that's one of the items. So that's like an item in Rogue. You can beat Spelunky without any items, just like Rogue. And you're not much stronger by the end than you are at the start. But you can become a little bit stronger based on what you do. And things that you are afraid of become something you start valuing. Like this giant spider, for instance. Very difficult boss to fight. unless you know how to fight it. Unfortunately, playing Spelunky is kind of spoilery by nature. So you see this, so that pot, oh, that pot had a snake, so now it's actually a downside rather than upside. Okay, I'll grab that skull to throw at something, but the problem with that one didn't, but skeletons can actually stand up and then I lose some health there. So the benefit is also danger, danger is also benefit. So this arrow here doesn't have an arrowhead, so if I throw it at something, it'll stun it, but it won't kill it, which sometimes you don't want to kill. Little background objects like the mice, you can actually pick up. I don't think... the game is full of secrets. I don't know if there's one regarding the mice. If there is one, I don't know what it is. But you can use them to disarm traps and stuff, which is what I normally use mice for. And you can see up there, there's a guy guarding treasure, so we could fight him, but he's very, very strong. But he's not that hard to beat if you know what to do. And as you see there, I just stepped in front of that trap. So it's a game where you really should be paying attention and not narrating yourself. There's ways to regain health. The easiest one is to save that little dog. That's an option in the menus if you're playing this game, like you want to get it afterwards and you're like, wait, how come there's dog and I didn't get to see that? So if you go here and you go to settings, you can change what the damsel is, man, woman, dog, or all of them. And I like to play with all of them just for the variety. Okay. So this dog, you can come save this dog, but also, like I said, everything can be used for something else. Now the dog's a projectile. You can also hold the dog in front of you when you set up an arrow trap, and now the dog's a bodyguard. But if you actually save the dog's life, you get +1 health. So it's a good way to get your health back. And this is what the gold's for. So we already have spike shoes, which means you do more damage when you step on things, and I think it stops you slipping on ice. Boomerang is very nice to have. But there's other ways to get boomerangs, so I think I'll just leave it there. Hope for a shop that gives me better stuff. So I think there's 16 levels in Spelunky. And once you get to the end, you fight a boss, and after you fight that boss, presumably you win. Like I said, I haven't actually ever beat the game. I've gotten to the boss, but that's about as far as I've gone. I want to show something, but it's kind of dumb, but you see, like, that's what I wanted to show you. It's just, you have to be careful with everything you do, because you can actually, like, throw the rock and hurt yourself. There's also up to 4 players in this game, and that gets crazy. So that skull might have been useful, but I don't want to risk it just getting me killed, so... And oh, I've got a key, that's useful, but I can also use it as a weapon, like everything else that you can throw. You can also jump on enemies, I think I demonstrated that, but... And I didn't see that spider, so now, oh, there's a spider out there. So how am I getting that key back? I have to be careful. So, and it's just massively knowledge-based, and so it's very similar to Rogue, but then people like Rogue Legacy came out, and that one's vaguely similar to Rogue, but you get these permanent upgrades. Like, there's not really meta progress in Spelunky. There's a tunnel man, which I would love to show off, but I don't want to. I'll try to show off the tunnel man if I can, but basically it lets you skip levels throughout the game. But the interesting thing about Spelunky and skipping levels is it lets you practice later levels in the game, because like there's different worlds in the game, and it gets harder and harder. And so having a quick way to get back to those levels to practice them is good. But interestingly, it actually makes the game harder a lot of the time. And that's because... Okay. Oh, this is where I die. I'm for some reason, I'm incapable of dealing with bats, as you can see. But it actually becomes, like, if you start the game from the beginning, you get tons of gold, you get tons of items, and it's actually easier than if you skip ahead and, like, start in the final world, where you can just fight the boss, like, after a couple quick matches, because you won't have any gear to help you fight the boss. Oh, that's interesting. You start with 4 bombs and 4 rope in single player, but you start with 2 and 2 in multi. Now the problem is, it's an amazing multiplayer game. It's very fun, but a lot of the unlocks don't work in multiplayer, and I have no idea. He did that in the second game as well. His name's Derek Yu. He's the guy that did the art for Desktop Dungeons, which I talked about how I love that art and I love that game. So this is, yeah, same artist, and same. He's actually the guy that created it as well. But I do not understand his design choice to make multiplayer less fun than single player in several ways, even though it's a perfect game for multiplayer. Like multiplayer, Spelunky is the best way to play the game, I would say. So you see here, this thing can push, and so what happens if I push it right to the edge, crushes the spikes, blocks the trap, and now everything's safe. So yeah, it's like a spoiler almost to watch someone else play, but there's also so much to learn that you're still gonna learn something new, right? Like you're gonna be okay in many ways. Like there's some secrets So remember how I can hurt myself with the rock, but if I just throw the rock straight ahead, no problem, right? But then if I somehow can hit that crate, it's coming. It's coming. Okay, we'll get it on the rebound. Ready? Boom, boom. Okay. This is impressively bad. Okay, we'll just do it from right here. No, right here. I don't understand this game. There it is. I was hoping to show that the rock could get launched in the explosion and come back and hit me, but instead I just hit myself twice in the head. Yeah, now there are some things that are probably slightly easier multiplayer, like you can bring yourself back to life, but you're also dividing all the resources between two people. And the chaos of two people is far more, because you share the same camera as well, it's not split screen. So the chaos, I think, is far greater than any benefit you get. So I just think it's a crazy decision to not let you unlock stuff in multiplayer. Especially because some people will buy the game just to play it in two-player. There's also time limits, so you could just spend all the gold you see on the walls is actually gold you can get. So you could spend all your time trying to gather all the gold and just be rich by the end of the level. But there is a time limit that there's a ghost that hunts you down. There are ways to slow the ghost down, but in general there is still a bit of a limit. So you see something like this and you think, ooh, that's exciting. But if you don't know what you're doing, ooh, steady. If you don't know what you're doing, this could be very dangerous. And it can still be dangerous even if you think you know what you're doing, which we might see in a moment. No, I think we're okay. But if that rock hits a shopkeeper's not going to be happy with you. So then he will hunt you down for the rest of the game and try to kill you because you blew up his shop, basically. And again, like that shopkeeper we saw before, I could have just stolen all that stuff from him. Like, it's fully like a good roguelike. You can do whatever you want, really. Like, I mean, you can't within the limits of the game, but it's an engine that you can play within, rather than. So I had this debate with well, not a debate, but I had like this rant with my brother recently, where I was saying the games that call themselves immersive sims are not like. Their thing is like you can do whatever you want, you can use this combination of tools, but they're actually very limited a lot of the time and very restrictive. And so when I play an immersive sim, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so cool, I'm gonna have so many powers, I'm gonna play Dishonored, and they're like, actually if you use these powers you're a bad person, and also everyone just takes the stealth route and then they feel like they're the unique special person that's the only one doing the stealth route. But if you want to play stealth, you could just play Hitman or Thief and it would be more fun than playing Dishonored and stealth. And Dishonored is more fun as a fighting game, but if you want to play a really good fighting game, you could play like Shadow of Mordor, or you could play like, you know, God of War or something. So it's kind of like the worst of everything, but the option is what the people who tout immersive sims really like. But I find like, if I want a bunch of really cool options, I could play Breath of the Wild or I could play a roguelike. And so I would say Breath of the Wild might be more of a roguelike than something like Caves of Cut. There's my controversial opinion for the day. As you can see, the world also happens while you're not there. So this poor gentleman who I sent walking on his way to go to safety on his own didn't quite make it. So I'm not going to get that bonus health. And I feel a little bad about that, but what can you do? And I get the gold for that idol though. And so now I'll have a lot of gold for the next level. And I'm playing very poorly right now, by the way, if you're wondering. Oh, wait, there's an unlock. I can get an unlock while I'm doing this at least. So you see spider in there. Oh, that's bad. But oh wait, no, that spider set off the trap, so that's good. Oh, that's a lot of work for the unlock. But I'm not here to like win, so I think I'll just waste resources. And you can also pick up enemies and throw them and stuff. Ready? Ready for this? Steady? Yeah! So everything you can work with anything. So these dudes, they actually, they will play with you. It's like AI controlled, and the AI is incredibly stupid. But it is something you can do. You can also throw ropes to kill enemies. Like, I'm just here to demo, so hopefully he'll understand to climb. Look at that. What a smart guy. Like, the AI isn't actually that stupid, it's just the levels are just pure chaos, so you never really know. You can also, that boulder, I can keep that boulder rolling. Like, if I blow it up with a bomb, I could keep moving it if I want. But yeah, as you see there, they're not really paying attention to certain things that a human player would be paying attention to. It's no substitute for just like a human playing the game with you. And I don't think he'll throw that at me by accident, but I wouldn't put it past him either. But the nice thing about grabbing him, Okay, well, he can set off that thing if it's... Wow, so yeah, like I said, Rube Goldberg machine, anything can happen. But now I can actually play as that. Like, right now I'm this Indiana Jones looking guy, but I could play as that weird little dude now if I want in the future. Ton of money, one good use for it, I think I can take that, is I can buy stuff from this shop. So let's buy this mystery box. Let's see what's in there. It's Cape. Okay, Cape's probably one of the better items in the game because you can just drift down so you don't have to worry about fall damage anymore. I don't know if you can fly like Mario. I've never actually tried. I'll give it a quick shot here. I think I'll just go until I die. And so I can show you, like, if I don't place... Well, I only have 1 health, so maybe you won't get to see it. But there's, like, every 4 levels it changes biome, and the biomes are very unique. And, like, that snake event there, it's actually a good example. Things change. Like, sometimes there will be a lot of snakes or a lot of spiders, or there'll be enemies from different levels. Like, the scorpions are actually from later on levels. Or there will be... yeah, like this little caveman dude we haven't seen before. Or you might see, like, a level will change entirely in how it's normally presented. So my favorite example is the next level, which is like a jungle, can instead have, what are they called? Like zombies instead of normal, like, jungle tribal people and carnivorous plants and frogs and everything. So yeah, here's the Tunnel Man. So if I give him 1,000 gold, he'll build me a tunnel, and then I can skip to this level now every time I play. So now I can start in the jungle every time I want. And you have to give him, like, bombs and rope and different things. In the original game, this is actually the remake. The original was like a Flash game, I believe, which I played a lot when I was in when I just graduated high school. I had a very simple computer, and that's all it could run. But I played a lot of the original Spelunky. Or I think it was called Spelunky HD, so I played, like, the remake of the original Flash game. But then this game came out, and this game's, like, a huge improvement in almost every way. And then the new Spelunky is, like, Spelunky 2, which is even more. So I'm going to show you guys something, I guess, just as a little taste of the variety potential in Spelunky, if I do this right. Ah, well, I guess that's my clue then, I'll give you. I won't spoil it entirely. But there's my clue, okay? So now you know, and you can figure it out yourself. So that way I haven't spoiled anything. But now, in theory, if I go up here, yeah, I can just go to the jungle. And so I won't have all the cool... Yeah, so it just changes everything. Now there's light, I have to light torches, and, like, the enemies are all very different here too. Like those monkeys you saw earlier, they'll jump on your back and they'll control you. So if you're up above a pit of spikes like this, and you get controlled by a monkey, you're probably dead. And you're like, oh, where's that drop go? I don't know. So what you can do if you're scared, put a rope by the edge. Now you can go down safely. It's a fantastic game. I would say if you like roguelikes, you'll like Spelunky, because Spelunky is a roguelike, unlike some games that just have ASCII art or whatever. So yeah, that's my, I guess this was almost more of a semantic rant than anything. I should have taken the torch with me. But yes, Spelunky is fantastic, fantastic game. Very hard, but if you like roguelikes, that's what you're used to, and losing is the fun. And like roguelikes, the way I play roguelikes, like, everyone plays differently. Some people play with a guide open. Spelunky has a built-in guide, so when you encounter things, you can learn about them. And you can see, like, as you can see, some spiders have killed me once. I've killed a lot of those, that sort of thing. I like to do it all myself. I don't like to look up guides. I don't like to go on to websites or anything, which means I miss out on a lot in some ways. But I think the fun is actually in the discovery, and the discovery you get to do on your own. So I think that's where the fun lies for me. And I, like, just even, oh, you can climb trees. Who knew? Like, there's just little knowledge things that you can gain over time, and that's where the fun is. And if you blow up the base of a tree, whole tree breaks. Like, that's just little, like, there's so many interactions in the game that you will learn. Because it's basically a physics engine, kind of like Breath of the Wild, where you just keep learning how new stuff works. And that's the joy of the game, I think, is the discovery. So if you look it up, then sure, you can probably beat the game pretty quickly, because it's not that long of a game, actually. I think you can probably get from the start to the end, if you're not even going at a crazy pace, in like half an hour. And that's not like, if you're not speedrunning or anything, that's just playing fairly normally. So, yeah. And, yes, you might as well enjoy the journey, I guess is what I'm getting at. And there's still stuff I haven't seen, despite how much I've, like, seen the game, like I said. like how much I've played the game a lot. I've gotten to the final area, but there's always like a new variety or a new interaction or a new, like I didn't realize there's these red frogs that you might see occasionally, and that was very risky. It didn't pay off. And if they go in water, I just learned they actually they turn blue. They stop being red and they cool down because they're like an explosive frog. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's Spelunky. Leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one, where maybe we will play a game that is like Rogue instead of looking like Rogue. They're two different things. All right, take care.